Hey guys, welcome on in to a special live edition Getting Wild with Terry and Friends NHL Free Agency Frenzy. I'm Terry, ready to break down all the free agent signings as they happen. Of course, I might be a little slow managing the stream and going through the free agent signings. If anybody is interested in joining me on the stream, feel free to send me a message. We can get some other people on here, so everyone feel free. But we will bring it up. Free agency is officially starting in a minute and a half. However, we've already had a lot of stuff happen already. So Max Domi re-signing in Toronto for 3 years. Jacob Chychrun was just traded to Washington from Ottawa. So we have a trade there, which is kind of interesting. Wow, Washington. Washington is doing things. I'll try to run through these. Timothy Liljegren re-signing with the Leafs, 2 years, $3 million. Utah re-signing Sean Durzi, 4 years, $6 million. Lundstrom re-signing with Anaheim, 1 year, $1.5 million. Patrick Kane is staying in Detroit, 1 year, $4 million. Sam Steele staying in Dallas, 1 year, $1.2 million. Sam Reinhart signed right at the deadline last night to sign an 8-year, $8.62 million deal to stay with Florida. Bertuzzi, which was leaked this morning, apparently doesn't care about winning, cares more about money, but he is going to Chicago. 4 years, $5.5 million for Bertuzzi. Sam Carrick going from Edmonton to the Rangers. Jake Gensel from Carolina to Tampa Bay. 7 years, $9 million for Mr. Gensel. So he got a big bag. Connor Brown, 1 year, $1 million to Edmonton. Dmitry Kulikov staying in Florida, 4-year deal, $1.15 million. Joseph Wall staying in Toronto, 3 years, $3.6 million. Chris Tanev getting traded from Dallas to Toronto, then signing a 6-year, $4.5 million deal. Most likely he's not going to end up playing the 6 years. There's already talk about him going on LTIR to finish his career. We'll end up seeing what happens there, but kind of a long deal for the Leafs to sign him. Eric Robinson going from Buffalo to Carolina. Connor McMichael re-signing in Washington. Eric Johnson re-signing in Philly. Brandon Montour leaving the Stanley Cup winners, Florida Panthers, and going to Seattle. 7-year deal. That's huge for the Seattle Kraken to get Montour. I really like that move a lot by the Kraken. Kasperi Kapanen staying in St. Louis. Jordan Martinook staying in Carolina, 3 years, $3.05 million. Lafferty going to Buffalo, 2 years, $2 million. And Toffoli is going to San Jose, 4 years, $6 million deal to go to the San Jose Sharks. And of course, there's probably already a lot of stuff happening. Jonathan Marchessault is going to the Nashville Predators. We will update that live here. 5 years, $5.5 million to Nashville. Which is, and there's a lot of talk about the Nashville Predators doing a lot of things today. So we will keep an eye on the Nashville Predators, who could have a very big day, it appears. today. So leaving the Vegas Golden Knights, and Vegas, they are not afraid to move on from guys, even guys that have been on the team since they joined the NHL. Oh, Matt Roy signed 7-year deal with the Washington Capitals. So Washington is doing a lot of things right now. So they are making some additions. Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Toronto. So we'll have to update that as well. And yeah, lots of things are happening. Lots of things are happening. And a lot of signings may come in all at once. So it might be kind of impossible for me to update everything here and talk at the same time. So may get kind of quiet at times, but hey, it's totally fine. If anybody wants to join me on stream, feel free to send me a message and people can jump on. We will see what the Minnesota Wild does today. Not really expecting a whole lot, to be honest. Free agency, I'm ready for the Islanders to sign no one. Nick, I just messaged you on Twitter. Feel free to join me on the stream. But yeah, both of our teams may not necessarily be doing a whole lot today, but we will see what happens here. I'll keep refreshing to see. I got it on TV. I'm checking Twitter to update on everything that is going on. Wow, Teuvo Teravainen returning to Chicago. That is interesting. That's a Teuvo Teravainen leaving the Carolina Hurricanes and going back to Chicago, a team he used to play for, or he was drafted by. Wild are proud to announce a former Islanders head coach is now one of our new assistants. I heard that was potentially happening. I don't know how I feel about that. But then again, I wasn't really too excited about John Hines, and I actually think he did a pretty good job, all things considered. So I can't really complain too much. But here is somebody that knows a little bit more about Jack Capuano. And of course, I have to edit the background is here. But yeah, I'll have to edit the background here.
I'm just the voice of God right now. That's just it.
There he is. We'll throw him in here. Yes, that wasn't prepared. This screen is not prepared for other people. So there we go. There we go. Yes, this is not. Usually it's just me. So there we go. Yeah. So what do you think about Jack, your former Islanders head coach, now signing with the Wild as an assistant?
When was he the Isles head coach? I've only been following hockey for like 7 years or 6-7 years or something like that. So
yeah, it was a while ago when they weren't like obviously when they were not the best team. So it's been a while, but yeah, he hasn't had a. I don't think he's had a job in the NHL at all for a few years.
yeah.
What do you think about the signings today? Anything?
There's a lot of stuff going on today. I just one thing, if you want up to date, like right to the second updates, daily fantasy daily face off for fantasy. I have the notifications on, so I get notified on Twitter every single time that like a deal is made. Boston has landed Lindholm and Zadorov. That just happened 30 seconds ago. Lindholm, Zadorov to Boston. Also,
Minnesota has made a signing, 4-year, $3.5 million for Yakov Trenin. The Nashville.
I saw that earlier, yeah.
Or maybe it was in Colorado. Yeah.
So what have you seen? What have you not seen? Because Nashville's making some moves.
Yeah. Yeah, the only official move I have for the Preds here so far is Marchessault.
I'm
But yeah,
seeing,
things are coming in so quick that I'm just not going to be able to update them. So
yeah,
we're gonna just get rid of that. Go back to this because we'll just announce signings as they happen because yeah,
you
things are
see,
just going to be too much for me to update.
yeah, I'm seeing Steven Stamkos. It's not official yet, but it's looking like 4 years, around 8 million AAV with the Predators as well.
Wow.
So there's that. I saw the Blackhawks got Laurent Brossoit, which is a sneaky little pickup. He's been a nice little backup. He can probably be the starter in Chicago and split time with Peter Mrazek. The Carolina Hurricanes have re-signed Jordan Martinook, 3 by
Yeah, I went over that.
3.05.
I went
To
over the
full,
signings and anything that hasn't happened in the last like 5 minutes. Brad Pesci is official to New Jersey. 6 years, 5.5 million.
yeah. The
So
Brossoit deal is two
Carolina's
years for
losing.
3.3. Yeah, Carol.
Sorry?
Yeah, Carolina. Yeah, I just saw the
Yeah,
Brossoit thing was by 3 by 3 or 2 years by 3 by 3. No,
yeah. Ian Cole going to Utah, who needs defenseman. 1 year, 3.1 million.
don't hate that move. Utah's going to be sneaky next year.
Yeah, yeah, they're not going to be afraid to change things up. We're going to have to exactly see everything they do, but it doesn't already getting Sergachev was huge. Like
Yeah,
they're not going to be afraid to blow things up.
and they got a lot of good
Stolarz
young
to
prospects.
Toronto, 2 years,
Well, what?
2.5 million. Anthony
Yeah,
Stolarz
that
to
that
Toronto.
that makes sense because they wanted Brossoit, Toronto, and that was probably just their pivot move. Was going to Stolarz after Brossoit got signed because they just signed Wool as well for I think 3 years.
Smith to Chicago, 1 year, 1 million.
Hmm.
Anthony Mantha to Calgary, which we kind of didn't really mention,
Calgary's not
or
going to be
maybe
very
you
good next
mentioned it when
year.
you came on. But
Chikrin to the Capitals.
yeah, the Capitals making moves.
Yeah, the Capitals also re-signed Connor McMichael 2 years, 4.2 million. The AAB 2.1.
And Ottawa got back Nick Jensen in a third.
Yeah,
So that's kind of like a cap dump.
it
It
looks
seems
like a
like
little
it
bit of a
doesn't.
cap dump there too. Yeah.
Yeah, Church to the Capitals, Roy to the Capitals.
Oh, well, yeah.
Is
It's just depth pieces
Stamkos
there.
official yet?
It doesn't say yet, but that's what they're expecting is 4 by 8 for Stamkos.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. 36 seconds ago, 4x8. Stamkos to Nashville. Brady Shea to Nashville, 7.7. Oh my God, Nashville, the
Wow.
Nashville Predators.
Wow. And let's also not ignore that how many players have the Carolina Hurricanes lost now? And I said this heading into the playoffs with the Carolina Hurricanes. This was do or die for them this year because they're going to lose a lot of players in the offseason.
That's not really too weird, Robert. Like the KHL will, the KHL doesn't care about what's going on with him, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the others join the KHL as well.
Yeah. And then, I
Not
mean,
much
in the
fun.
KHL, I mean, Carter Hart would be a great pickup.
Ian
Ian
Cole,
Cole. I
yeah.
like that blue line that Utah's developing now. I wish we had Cat Friendly available, but that was bought and shut down. Cat Friendly.
Well, it's still open.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to
Stamkos.
it, I have it clicked for free agents. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're updating
Also,
it, but the list of
yeah.
free agents.
Buffalo got Sam Lafferty, 2 years, 4 million.
Yeah. Looked at that a little bit earlier. Yeah, the free agency tracker isn't updating on Daily Faceoff. That's what I was looking at too. Was the free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just following what Elliot Friedman is tweeting.
because he's the one that
Yeah,
tweets
Elias
out all this
Lindholm to
stuff.
Boston. 7.75, 7-year deal. Lindholm in
That
Boston.
doesn't shock me because they wanted Lindholm during the trade deadline when Vancouver got him.
Yeah, Boston needs. They're probably losing Jake DeBrusk.
Yeah.
So it's shocking to see Steven. It's going to be weird seeing Steven Stamkos in a Preds jersey.
Yeah, because he's been
I
a
wonder if he's going
bulk.
to play with Marchessault. Is
That'd be
he
a
going to
fun
play with
line.
Marchessault? Nashville. See, and I had this little bit of a hope that maybe Minnesota could possibly squeak into a playoff spot next year. But the way things are going, Nashville's improving a lot. Utah. Well, Utah still has some moves to make, but they're improving.
I think a wild card could be in Utah's future next year.
Who? Oh, wild card? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant like a wild card signing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna try, obviously. Oh, Arvidsson to Edmonton. So if he stays healthy, that will be a nice top 6 addition for the Oilers.
Who do we expect? Who do you call it to lose many players this offseason? Edmonton.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Let's
So
see
biggest
there.
free agents left: Jeff Skinner.
Come on, Islanders.
Jeff
Come on,
Skinner,
Islanders.
Nathan Schmidt, Nate Schmidt, Atkinson, Adam Henrique. So a lot
DeBrusk.
Tarasenko. Yeah, DeBrusk somewhere.
Tarasenko.
Yeah, it's not really a whole lot of top free agents left. But yeah, Jeff Skinner is going to be a huge addition to whoever gets Jeff Skinner. Obviously, I was hoping Minnesota would
Plus,
have a
we
chance
know.
with Skinner.
Yeah. Plus, we know from years past. Yeah. Plus, we know from years past the way to win a Stanley Cup is just add Sabres. Because once they leave Buffalo, they win cups.
Yeah. We'll see with Sam Reinhart. Obviously, people watching the show know we made money on Sam Reinhart this year. He did have a career year, but is he going to keep that going? Is he going to keep this going? I'm not sure if he's going to keep it going.
I was
The kind of year
stunned
he
he
had.
returned to Florida. I was stunned he returned to Florida. Because if I was the Florida Panthers, I would have been like, I appreciate everything you did for me this year. You had an amazing year. You helped us win the cup. Lose my number.
Well, no state tax. And it's not like Florida's going to fall off the map. Like they're probably still going to be. Sharon Govich is extending in Calgary, 5 years, 5.75 million.
Interesting.
Yeah. We will see what's going to happen here.
So it looks like it feels like it's been the Nashville Predators show so far.
Yeah. Getting Marchessault, getting Stamkos, and then
And Brady
getting.
Shea was not a bad pick up there too.
Yeah. And they're gonna have somebody is gonna want Yaroslav Askarov. They are going to get some kind of return for Askarov.
Yeah.
Or they keep him, but they're apparently sending him down to the AHL, and he's ready. He's ready for an NHL. If I'm the San Jose Sharks, I am giving Nashville a call and being like, "Hey, obviously none of our top prospects, but I'm sure the San Jose Sharks would love a young top end prospect goaltender. Of course, Chicago would be the same way. Either of those two teams in the trajectory they're heading in the next few years, Askarov is exactly who they should be looking at. A young goalie. But Nashville is going to want a lot for him. And
Of course they are.
he is unproven in the NHL. Yes, he had a fantastic year in the AHL last year. And yes, he's a top goalie prospect, but goalies are sometimes difficult.
Yeah, there's the top end ones, and then all the rest feels like relief pitching. It's like they can be good 1 year and bad the next.
David Perron is in Ottawa. 2
Really?
years. Yeah, David Perron is gone.
Brendan Dillon to New Jersey, 3 by 4 mil.
No way, Robert. No way. Jason Zucker to the
Yeah,
Sabres?
Jason Zucker is a Sabre. Yep.
So he's going to return. He's probably going to play. Watch him play with Greenway. Have fun, Buffalo. Have fun. No, if Buffalo expects Jason Skinner to replace, or sorry, Jason Zucker to replace Jeff Skinner, um, they're going to be
Not happening.
surely disappointed.
The Nikita Zadorov move for Boston is 6 years by 5 mil.
Nice. Brendan Dillon to New Jersey.
Yep.
3 years, 4 million. Wow, Winnipeg was trying to re-sign him too, from what I heard. So
And New Jersey can
Jason
always
Zucker
use
gets
some blue
5 million in his 1 year deal.
Really? Oh, 1 year. Okay. Jeez. Seems like a little bit much.
Let's see here. Arvidsson to the Oilers. Yeah, we mentioned that. That's a good. If he stays healthy, that's a good addition for Edmonton. Should fit pretty nicely on the second line. I don't know how I feel about Yakov Trenin, but now that's the only move Minnesota's making. So they had a certain amount of cap, six million available, and now 3 of that's gone. Plus, they want to re-sign Declan Chisholm, who they got off waivers from Winnipeg. So I think Minnesota is done. But next year, NHL Free Agency frenzy. Instead of hearing Nashville, next year, you're going to hear Minnesota with an extra 14 million to spend next year. So, Matt Grzelcyk to the Pens. The Pens trying to add some older guys.
You
I
know,
don't know.
I absolutely love that the Pittsburgh Penguins got Dubas as the GM, because that clown is just going to delay a much needed teardown and rebuild, and make them just worse and worse for years to come. And I am all for it.
He's obviously as an Islanders fan.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah.
Yeah, so the big name is Jeff Skinner. He is the big available name. Oh, and Ryan Suter is available. If anybody wants to sign him to a 3-year deal and then buy him out again, he could become the first player in NHL history to be bought out 3 times if someone does that. So I think
Sounds
Ryan
like a lot of
Suter would
fun.
fit perfectly in Chicago. Perfectly in Chicago. Ryan Suter would be a perfect addition to the Chicago locker room. And you know what? While they're at it, get Zach Parise to change his mind from retiring and come join Chicago, and then you got it all. Got it all. But no, obviously, yes, I'm still salty. Still not a fan of either Parisi or Suter. Zadorov
Patrick
to
Maroon
Boston.
signed with Chicago.
5
Did we
million.
always see that?
6 years, 5 million for Zadorov.
Yeah, that seems like a little much for Zadorov. Am I wrong?
6 years is kind of long. 5 million isn't too bad, but six years is a bit long, I think.
Yeah. My worry for Boston there is that age is like the Mayfield contract for the Isles.
Mayfield's good. He's a good defenseman.
Yeah, he had difficulties this year. He had turnover problems and injury problems and stuff like that. We'll see. They also signed him to a 7-year deal for like 3-ish mil per year. So the Blackhawks signing Brossoit probably means it's Mrazek and Brossoit. They're gonna get rid of Soderbaum, which is nice. They got Alec Martinez, which is an interesting
Well, he might
move.
just go to the AHL. I don't know if he'd be gone.
Yeah, he'll be in the AHL or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Brandon DeHaan to Washington. I know people are like, who? Brandon DeHaan, former Wild. He's gonna be a good physical guy for Washington. So Washington is not throwing in the
And
towel.
No, they're not. We do get a reunion in Columbus. Sean Monahan will be joining right back up with Johnny Gaudreau. 5 for 5.5 for Sean Monahan.
Wow, so what's going on with Winnipeg? Winnipeg is not. They're not re-signing anybody right now. They've been losing a few guys too.
Yeah.
They lost Monahan to Foley.
They made their big signings last year. Scheifele and Hellebuck re-signing there.
I like that addition for Washington. Brandon DeHaan.
Yeah.
He's a good physical guy that has speed. So Washington needs speedy guys. Having him on a line with Tom Wilson could be really, really nasty to play against.
That doesn't sound like very much fun. I'd prefer teams stop trading to the Metro Division to make them better, but yeah.
Rangers haven't done too much today.
The Hurricanes got significantly worse.
But now they might not trade. Maybe they keep Natchez now. Carolina still has some young guys. Oh, Carolina has agreed to terms with William Carrier. 6 years, $2 million. So a little bit of defensive. 2 million isn't a bad cap, but 6 years is kind of long. Some teams are going with some long deals. Yeah, Sean Monahan to Columbus is kind of interesting, I think.
Columbus looking to compete. I see. I don't know if they compete with who do you call it? With Merzlikins in between the pipes.
Oh, Yakov Trenin, a good penalty killer, which is what Minnesota would need as well. Penalty killer, forechecks, hits, defensive winger. Exactly what you want on a third or fourth line.
Oh yeah.
NHL GM's going all out before the take. Yeah, cap friendly is still up, so it is still up.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they don't just make another website. Like why somebody else doesn't make another website. Hello guys, hello Timothy. How's it going? We've had a lot of the big signings here are done, most likely. So we're not going to stream all afternoon. People wondering about picks today. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I'm passing on today. Yesterday was not good. Not good at all. So I'll be recapping yesterday tomorrow, but
Yeah.
not a good day.
Baseball. Yeah, baseball
Today's a big
yesterday
game.
looked like it was going to be bad. And then
Yeah.
it
The
got
player props,
much
it was
better
really
too.
bad. Everybody on hot streaks decided not to hit yesterday, so it was not a good day.
And after all this different things today, 7-1 on Nashville to win the Central Division.
Oh, DeBrusque,
What?
7 years. Wow, DeBrusque to Vancouver. 7 years,
Wow.
5.5.
Woo.
Thanks for the over 8 in the Toronto. Yeah, no problem. That was one of my plays I really liked yesterday. One of the few plays that won, so I'm glad you cashed on it. But I really do lean with the Blue Jays over still. The issue is that Hunter Brown has been playing very, very well recently.
One thing
Houston
I've
last
noticed though with
night.
some pitchers, I know Hunter Brown's been pitching really well as of late. I think this is a good fade spot on Brown today. Because one thing I've noticed is when pitchers go 3-4 starts with like being nearly perfect, he's given up one earned run in the last 4 starts. We've seen them get hit. And I think we can see that today. It's a bad travel spot for Houston um,
That's true.
as well.
That's true.
So I can see that. I took Toronto in the first 5 at plus 115 for that game. I think this is a
Toronto is
good spot.
bad pitching. Rodriguez is not. Rodriguez is not good.
Yeah,
So
I know
you
it's putting a lot of
talking
faith
about
in him.
Brown makes me want to go back to the over.
The over, I would
That's
only
the
look
only
towards the
thing I
over
can
in
think.
that game. Yeah.
But
Maybe a
I
Jays
decided
team.
I might get to Vladdy total bases. I might look at that. He is in the lineup today after getting hit in the hand by Garrett Cole. And then the next inning, Kevin Gosman hits Aaron Judge.
Did it look
I'm not going to
intentional?
say that's revenge, but
Did did
it's
did, did the
obviously
Vladdy
revenge.
did the Vladdy one look intentional or just look like the pitch slipped?
Well, no. Cole Cole was like apologetic right away, and
Yeah,
people are
because
just
sometimes
pitching
that just
Vladdy. People
happens.
aren't. They're pitching Vladdy like that's where they're pitching to Vladdy is right.
Yeah, you pitch inside, sometimes you hit batters. It's just the way it is. And that's why one thing that drives me crazy is that's why I'm kind of it's really annoying that they banned sticky substances for pitchers. I was always in the camp of just let them use it. Especially if I'm a batter, I'll take a little bit of extra movement to know they have a better control over it and won't hit me with it as much. Like I'm assuming since the sticky stuff's been banned, hit by pitches have gone up. Because pitchers just don't have as much control over the baseball as they did. Um, so that's why I've always thought that the sticky substance stuff was bullshit, and they should never have banned it because it's really more of a safety thing for me than a strategy. I want to see pitchers pitch well. I'm also an under better, so I like seeing pitchers pitch well. Um, and I want to see batters not get hit with pitches as much.
Yeah, I can see that. The thing is that if it either has to be allowed or not, like not allowed at all. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people using it and others not, it does give an advantage. So they either have to they have to really make up their mind on what they're gonna do. Joel Edmondson, 4 years, 3.8 million with the LA Kings.
Forgot he still played. He's been hurt a lot.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah,
Jake DeBrusk to Vancouver. That's interesting.
that's a great move. Another top guy for them.
He needed out
And
of Boston.
hmm
He had
is it
been there long enough.
and I mean Boston has DeBrusk's replacement with Lindholm, so it's not like they lost much there. Boston.
Lindholm didn't have a great year last year.
No, but maybe he just needed a different spot because he
Yeah.
started the year with Calgary, which was terrible, and then he got traded, and I just don't think he ever adjusted to Vancouver well.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So we'll see.
Yeah, Colorado losing obviously Yakov Trenin and Brandon Duhaime.
Yeah, a
So
couple
they're
depth
losing
pieces.
some of their grit on the bottom pair, bottom lines. But it's not like you can't go and find that somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not like a free agent. Like obviously Nashville has won the day.
Yep.
Like there's nobody else. Well, Jeff Skinner's still available. So if a team like Seattle was to get Jeff Skinner, adding Jeff Skinner, Montour, that's two really big additions. So maybe Seattle could compete with Nashville for winning the day if they still have a few more signings in them. But
I'm just starting to look at odds for because I see future odds up on Bovada here. And one thing that really caught my attention is last year's President's Trophy winners are third according to odds to win their division. The Rangers are plus 275. The Devils are plus 250, and Carolina's 2-1.
I'm not looking at future. I'm not looking. We will be doing all the NHL season preview shows for every team, like I did the last 2 years. So I will be looking at futures later on. I don't really
Yeah.
want to like. Obviously, yeah, there's not going to be a biggest changes. Is going to be depth guys being signed, and then we will have trades at some point, probably. So yeah, a lot of the big changes are done, but I want to see I want to see how the rest of the off season goes before I look too much at.
Yeah. I just like to look at where the odds are at the moment and things like that.
Yeah, it can't hurt if you really like a team like Nashville has done a lot.
Yeah. 25-1 to win the cup, Nashville. They have the same odds as the Winnipeg Jets and the LA Kings. I
Well,
don't
I
think.
don't. Yeah, I think they made the playoffs last year. They're not too far away from the Kings.
Yeah,
Let me
like,
let's look at the standings.
but on the flip side, I feel like this would be buying high on Nashville as well because they just made all these moves. I think if you wanted to make, I feel like we've probably missed the line on Nashville because probably heading into the day they were what 40-1. They were probably way lower before all these moves. And probably a lot of people are going and immediately betting Nashville because they see they got Stamkos and they got Marchessault and they got Shea and they got all these different free agent signings. And the ultimate question that we can also have on the flip side is, yeah, they could be better. Will these guys mesh? Will the chemistry be there? Is also another question, which is why we've seen teams that make all these big free agent signings struggle a little bit. So I don't know how to approach
The Preds had 99 points. LA had 99 points. Winnipeg had 110. So you were saying those three teams are all the same? Yeah,
Yep, 25-1
Winnipeg
all three of
had
them.
a much better season than the Nashville or LA. But
But Winnipeg got worse. They lost a couple pieces. They lost Dylan, and they lost who else did they lose? I feel like who's the other one that left Winnipeg?
they lost DeMello. Or was it DeMello? They lost to Foley and they lost to
Foley, that was
Monahan.
the other one. And Monahan. Yeah, they got worse. Nashville's gotten significantly better, and the Kings have done nothing.
Yeah.
22-1 on the Lightning is interesting.
They're talking about Chandler Stevenson is the next good free agent available. There are other guys, Canucks signing Danton Heinen, Kevin Stenlund to Utah, Kiefer Sherwood to Vancouver.
I like that
But a lot of
Stenlund
these guys are.
for Utah. That's an interesting one. He was a good little depth piece for Florida.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
It'll be really
rumors
interesting
on
to
one team
see.
looking at Skinner. I'm hearing the Oilers have some interest in Jeff Skinner.
That would be good.
Canucks are plus 450 to win the Pacific.
Matt Murray is re-signing with the Leafs.
He still plays hockey?
The Leafs have all their goalies they could possibly need now.
Oh, yeah. Which probably none of them will be any good. Again.
A good tweet on Twitter. The Nashville Predators have been saving their money for 25 years for today. It's kind of true. This is the biggest day in the. Yeah, I agree. Melissa. But he definitely put it on just to try to get a rise out of me for sure. But I just ignored it. But
Oh, yeah. Well, they made a couple of signings. I'm like, okay, sure. I can't wear the Islanders because they haven't done jack shit. So I had to pick somebody who actually made signings.
I will say I like, and I told you right away, I liked what the Islanders did in the draft.
Yes.
Because the last thing you expected from the Islanders is to go and draft a goal scorer. Like I did not see that coming.
Granted,
And
it'll be
he
a few
fell.
years before he's an Islander, but yeah.
But that's basically all he can do. And that's the crazy thing too, is he's not good defensively at all. He's not an Islanders player. So it was just kind of a surprise that who calls himself an Isles fan and wears a Hawks shirt. Well, he does wear our jerseys for a lot of
I was gonna say I wear more than yeah. I have a whole closet full of them. It's not yeah.
Caps are making some good moves. That's true.
No,
Caps are,
I like the moves that the Caps are making. Yeah.
but then again, adding Pierre-Luc Dubois, I feel like what was it, like a week ago, whatever, that kind of puts a damper on things right away. Like you're already kind of screwing yourself by adding him. So because he's people might be thinking, well, how are you screwing yourself? Well, he's kind of locker room poison. Like he's been traded from team to team to team, and Darcy Kemper didn't fit in Washington, so I that makes sense moving on from him. So it kind of we'll see if it helps both teams, but Pierre-Luc Dubois, if he comes in motivated, while he's motivated, he's going to play great. But how long does that motivation
Yeah.
last?
And one thing that's crazy is the Capitals made the playoffs last year, which they shouldn't have. I mean, they were not a playoff caliber team. We saw that in the first round. They've made a few good moves. They're tied for second to last for odds to win the Eastern Conference. They have the same odds as the Montreal Canadiens, and the only team with longer odds is the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're 50-1 to win the Eastern Conference. And to win the Cup, the only teams below them are the Canadiens, the Ducks, the Blackhawks, the Jackets, and the Sharks. And they made the playoffs.
So this morning, Nashville was plus 3,500 to win the Cup.
Now they're 2,500.
Now they're plus 2,500.
That makes sense.
And you know what? Everyone kind of loves what Tampa did. I don't. I don't. I don't. Okay, yes, Jake Gensel's great. Yes, he's going to be great with Kucherov and Point. But
Damn a replacement.
yeah, well, yeah, he'll fit on that top line. Stamkos was more on the second line for a lot of the part. But where is the rest of your team? Like, I don't like their third or fourth lines whatsoever. Their second line, yes, Sorelli's good, but now you've lost Sergachev on the back end. Like Tampa Bay, like I don't love this offseason for Tampa Bay as much as everyone else has. I don't. And there were a lot of people as soon as they heard Gensel, as soon as the Gensel trade happened yesterday for his rights, everybody I saw on Twitter was saying, "Oh, Tampa futures, let's go! Tampa's back. This team's never gonna have to rebuild. They're just gonna be great forever." And it's like, okay, yes, Gensel's a great player, but losing Stamkos hurts. Losing Sergachev hurts. And these guys are getting another year older. Yes, okay, Stamkos is getting older, so like yeah, but the rest of the team is getting another year older. I don't love it.
Yeah,
I don't love it.
Kucherov. I mean, still is one of the best players in the sport, so they still got. I mean, but yeah, they've lost
Yes,
depth.
but
But they've
eventually is
lost
going
the
to take
depth
a step back.
from their Stanley
Like
Cup
he just had
champion
like a
season.
career year.
Yeah,
You can't expect him to do that again. And they only made the playoffs by 7 points.
yeah.
Detroit, who was hoping they could have a chance at Stamkos, obviously they
They've
didn't.
improved though. They've improved Detroit.
Getting Patrick Kane again, like or re-signing Patrick Kane.
And they're looking at Gossespierre as well, I believe, last time I checked. And I think they signed
They'll
a couple
need
of their
some of
players.
their for Detroit. They need their youth to take the next step because
Oh
they have
yeah.
a lot of youth, and that's what a team like Detroit needs. Um, Florida, I'm not going to say they got like a lot worse, but losing Montour doesn't help. Boston, I don't know if they're necessarily going to get better or worse. Losing Allmark isn't great. The Leafs, do we think the Leafs get better?
Mm. The Leafs are the same thing every year. Jonathan Drouin returns to Colorado.
Okay, so Colorado did something there.
I mean, I will continue to never trust the Leafs until they prove to me otherwise.
I like Tanev is a good addition for the Leafs though.
He's a
That
good
that's
defensive
something you
addition.
really need is like a defensive defenseman. That's exactly
Yep,
something Toronto needs.
100%. Uh, but I mean, they will continue to be the same thing in my eyes. Is during the regular season, you can bet them. You can take their team total overs. They'll score goals in the regular season, fade them in the playoffs, and then move on. Like that. That's just the
Same
way
thing with
Toronto.
Winnipeg though.
Huh?
Winnipeg, they were a great regular season team last year,
Yep.
and everyone talked about Hellebuck in the playoffs. Hellebuck in the playoffs. He's bad. He's bad. And I thought, hey, I thought, you know what? The Winnipeg's really good this year. Hellebuck, he's going to have another chance in the playoffs. He's going to get it together this year, and he did it. So we've seen
Stylistically, that
time
was just a
after time
bad
after
matchup for
time.
Winnipeg, though.
Yeah, but what about all like his other matchups? Like any matchup he kind of get in the playoffs is going to be bad. So Winnipeg, they're a regular season team as well. The rest
Yep.
to the Canucks. Yeah, the Canucks needed that. The Canucks needed that. But
So
looking
where
at
is he
teams
going
that
to
didn't
slot him?
make the playoffs this year that I think will, just off like just looking at the standings and looking at what we've seen so far, New Jersey is definitely gonna. They
New
definitely have
Jersey?
to make the playoffs next year.
I mean, they
Devils
don't
10
have
points
to. They
out of
can
it.
continue to have the same problems, but they don't. Yeah, they are a candidate to get back into the postseason.
Yeah, Markstrom, Pesci. So they improve their defense. They improve their goaltending hugely. If Jack Hughes stays healthy, then I think the Devils are a team. But everyone's kind of high on the Devils again. And everyone, including myself,
Yeah.
was high on the Devils last season. And
I fell for that too. I mean, I can easily see the Devils take the cap spot. That's pretty simple.
we think about Philadelphia because Matvey Mishkov
I
is coming over, which is a
still think they're a
huge.
couple years away from the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know if they make it, but they were only 4 points out last season,
Yeah,
and they're going to add a
and
huge
yeah.
offensive piece. I can't wait till Truba elbows a Rangers player in the head so they can call him the dirtiest player in the league.
That would be hilarious.
But he is still where he is, right? He's still with the Rangers as far
He's still with
as
the Rangers at the moment. Honestly, I hope the Rangers keep him.
Talbot is going to Detroit. 2 years,
Talbot?
2.5 million. Talbot in
Okay.
Detroit,
He'll be good for
which is
half a season.
yeah, if that.
Then he'll get hurt.
And plus, the look of the defense he has in front of him, it's not. Detroit's defense is not as good as LA's defense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think
Talbot wasn't terrible for like the first half of last year. So what teams do you think made the playoffs last year will miss it this year? Because I feel like at least in the Western Conference, there's a pretty solidified like 8 teams, and I don't know other than I feel like Utah would be a team that I think could sneak into the playoffs out of the Western Conference. But I mean, I feel like Dallas, Winnipeg, Colorado are pretty safe in the Central. Edmonton and Vegas are safer in the Pacific. Vancouver, we'll see if they can do it again. But like, who falls out of the playoffs in the Western Conference that made it last year?
well, it's not going to be Nashville. I don't know if Winnipeg is safe. I don't know. I don't know if Winnipeg is safe. Now, I'm not going to say that they're going to miss the playoffs, but I think they could be. They could be competing with some other teams for a playoff spot. Dallas will make it. Colorado will make it. Edmonton will make it. Vegas or Vancouver should make it again. I think LA could fall if someone's going to fall. Nashville, I don't think is falling out now. Vegas, I don't know if they're. I don't know if Vegas is clinched a spot. I could see. I could see
I could
things
see
getting
regression for Vegas.
St. Louis, we don't expect to get a whole lot better. They haven't done anything today.
No.
Minnesota is one more year away before improving, really, unless a lot of the rookies step it up. The Wild
Wow,
are
they're a
still
tricky
one more
team.
year away.
Yeah,
Calgary finished with 81 points.
they're gonna
You
be
can
they're gonna
expect
be towards
a
the bottom of the.
gigantic fall. Like the Flames, who almost finished with 500, are going to have a gigantic fall down
Yup.
the standings. Seattle finished with 81 points. I think they improved. Obviously, Utah improved. Then we've got those bottom three. And with the bottom three, Ducks, Chicago, and the Sharks, I'm not saying any of those three are going to make the playoffs this year or this next upcoming year. I don't think that's going to happen. But
I think
we
the
should see
Blackhawks
some
finished with more
improvement.
points than they did last year.
We should
52,
see some
right?
improvement from all three.
Yes.
San Jose added some pieces to Foley today. They have a lot of youth that's coming. Chicago again has a lot of youth that's coming. They added a guy today. The Ducks have been bad, but they have a ton. They
Of
have a
young
lot more
talent.
prospects than Chicago or San Jose. This Ducks team is going to be scary. They are going to be scary when they all take that next step. And because the young players haven't been taking that next step, they're still getting top picks. So for
Yeah.
I would, if I was choosing an NHL team to become a favorite team, if I was a new fan, I would honestly be looking at the Ducks because they're a team that's going to be really good for a long time. You're just going to have pain for a couple more years.
Yeah.
Does he
Back
go
to
anywhere?
Carolina. Back to
Yeah.
Carolina.
If Carolina, like, with losing, like, you re-sign him.
Yeah, they lost Shea. They lost Teravainen. They lost
Gensel.
Pesci. They lost Gensel.
So the Canes have
Nate,
money now. Like, they have the
Jarvis
money.
and Natchez should be right back in Raleigh.
Yeah, they have some money. They have some money to play with now. But they're going to take a step back. They're going to take a step
Absolutely.
back.
I'll probably look at Carolina under their point total this year. Because it'll probably they finished with 111 points last year. Their point total will probably be in the 106 and a half, 107 and a half range, I'd have to guess. And I think they finished with 100. So I don't think they're not going to miss the playoffs, but they'll be about 10 or 11 points worse than they were last year.
Well, we'll see. We will see. When will the Wild trade the Gus Bus? I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do. Because they didn't nobody really stepped up in the draft for Gustafson, and you're not really gonna get a lot for Gustafson. The best case scenario is that he comes out and plays excellent, like a 2.05 ERA or ERA, a
Goals
goals
allowed.
against average, and like let's say he comes out and just he's winning games. The Wild aren't really winning games, but Gustafson's playing great. His value goes up, then you trade him. But Bill Ginger's not going to trade him for nothing, so he's probably gonna stay. Wallstedt probably is back and forth in Iowa. What's up, boys? Hey, Adam, how's it going? I hope the Wild get rid of half the roster. To be honest, wow. With the new no move clauses that the Wild gave out, I don't really see them making a lot of changes at all. Once again, my Blues do absolutely nothing. Almost $15.5 million in cap space, and we have done nothing. So frustrating. Talk to Nick Earl as an Islanders fan. I think he's kind of in the same boat with you right now. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
They like to run it back the same fucking lineup every year. And once again, they'll be a wild card team. They'll lose the first round. But no, the Blues will probably miss the playoffs this year.
speaking about the Isles and the playoffs, it's not the East is a lot more open.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Devils
Yeah,
are
the Metro division's easy, not easy, interesting because it's the Rangers and the Hurricanes, and then a bunch of
then again,
wild
Carolina's
card
going to
type.
take a step back
Yes,
unless a lot of their rookies. So Carolina's going to take a step back. The Rangers are probably like I don't want to say a lock for the playoffs, but
they are.
it would be extremely tough to see the Rangers not making the playoffs. Carolina's going to take a step back. The Islanders haven't really done anything, so you're hoping
They
that
will probably
Sorokin
be
bounces
exactly what
back.
they were. They'll be exactly what they were last year. They'll be a 90 to 95 point team. They'll finish either in the third spot in the Metro or in the wild card spot and get eliminated in the first round, probably to
Or
Carolina.
a bubble team,
That's exactly what I'm saying. A bubble team that will
like a
get a
bubble
wild card
out.
spot.
Like they could be a bubble in, bubble out. Because Washington, 3 points behind the
Washington's. I
Islanders.
don't like Washington. I think they take a step
Washington's
down.
improved this offseason. Tampa
One.
Bay finished with 98 in the number one or the top wild card spot. A lot of people love Tampa Bay's offseason. I'm not. Obviously, if Gensel and Kucherov, there's good chemistry there. They were mostly a one-line team anyway this season, so if they stay healthy, I don't think Tampa Bay is going to have a big drop off. Detroit only 3 points behind the Islanders. if they're young, if their youth take a step up, they could take the Islanders' spot. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Buffalo. I don't really think those three have a shot at playoffs. Well, no, maybe not that they don't have a shot, but I
Buffalo
don't think that
could.
they're necessarily going to improve. The Devils definitely are improving.
Or the
Ottawa,
Marks.
Montreal, Columbus.
Ottawa
Montreal,
got old Mark.
a few years away, but Montreal has definitely added a lot. Uh, Added a lot of depth or a lot of prospects.
Yeah.
Adam agrees. Is anyone talking about how much Florida just lost in their blue line? Oliver Ekman Larson and Montour gone. Yeah, they're gonna have to make some more additions. Actually, might bet Florida to miss the playoffs next year. 2 years straight of final runs is a lot of hockey. That is true. That
I
is
don't think
true.
they missed the playoffs, but you're going to get a hell of a line to do that. They'll
If
be what,
Bobrovsky takes a step back,
15-1? Probably what,
looking
15-1
like
to miss the
Truba
playoffs?
to the wings. Yeah,
Falling through.
well,
Saying falling through,
um,
not happening.
lock in your Nashville Cup futures right now.
I think that's overreaction.
See, no, I would not. I would
Today's the
not
worst
look at
day to do
Nashville
that.
to win the cup. Reason being, everyone, a lot of people are going to be doing that. Second thing, the Nashville Predators have never in their history of a franchise even made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Wrong.
Pretty sure that's true.
They
Did
lost
they
to the
make it to
Stanley
the?
Cup against the Penguins.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally wrong. But they made it once. Once in their history, they made it past the Western Conference Finals. Yes, they're going to be improved, but I think if you're looking at the Predators, you want to look at them during the regular season. I think you want to look at their win total. I think you want to look at maybe not so much playoff futures because they still have Trouba family issues was something I saw was a big reason. Interesting. Massive overreaction. You talk about the Predators Cup future. Yeah, I think they obviously did a lot today. But
But,
yeah,
but
I
we've
don't know
seen
if
teams, yeah, well, we've seen teams in many sports be the winners of the offseason and then fall flat on their face. So
Nashville stacked at every position.
honestly, watching Nashville do what they do, the contrarian in my head kind of wants to bet them under their point total and then miss the playoffs because maybe these top end guys don't mesh well. And everybody loves them now, and we're probably going to get a better number on them to miss the playoffs and under a win total.
I think if the players don't mesh well, it's early.
Yeah.
I think by the time we get to Nyquist fit in absolutely great with Nashville last year. So that's a yeah. If the new guys mesh in well, I'm gonna have to look at their depth chart. But yeah, like adding in Marchessault and Stamkos, where do they fit in the top line and the second line? Like Stamkos, Marchessault, Forsberg, Yossi on a power play. And then you have one other guy like that. That is a dangerous power play. That is a
It
dangerous
is.
power. Nyquist assist, Marchessault goal. Yeah, no more Eichel assist with Marchessault. Really think Yossi is the biggest benefactor today. He gets his Mary Cyclone style player back so he can be more offensive.
Capitals get Radish. Taylor Radish. Michael Amadio, 3 years, $2.6 million to Ottawa. And then Noah Gregor resigns 1 year with Ottawa. Warren Fogle to the Kings, 3 years, three-ish
Okay.
million.
There's something that LA needed.
Depth.
Yeah, I'm shocked that we haven't seen I'm shocked with you that we haven't seen the Islanders do anything.
I'm not. It's just Lula Morello every fucking year.
I'm shocked the Buffalo Sabres haven't done anything. Like,
Yeah, they got a little extra capital to work with buying out Skinner.
Ottawa's loading up to get rid of Pinot. I'll take
Yeah,
Shane Pinot in Minnesota.
I was gonna say
Uh,
I saw the Islanders were tied to Pinto trade talks.
Anything from the Blue? Yeah, the Blues either. The Blues haven't done anything. Buffalo needs a center bad. Yeah, now they have to replace Jeff Skinner, and that's the big name available right now. Is Jeff Skinner?
I have
He
a feeling
is.
he's gonna be an Oiler.
I don't know. He definitely won't be going to Nashville. No, I'm kidding. Because I don't think they really have any cap space left. Let's go take a look. Use cap friendly at the Nashville Predators. They have 5.8 million left in cap space, assuming that that includes the trades they've done today. Um,
Wow. And by the way,
they,
in Barry Trotz we trust. Like, I'm not surprised whatsoever.
yeah, he's getting his chance at GM with the team that he coached for like their entire existence. So he's doing a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew Nashville was going to do something within a few years with Barry. I will never question anything Barry Trotz does anymore. Like, that's just something I won't do. Um, he's one of the best hockey minds that I've ever seen since I've started following the sport. So
If I was staying close, I would try to get on the Vegas Golden Knights. Well,
with what cap
that ship
space?
has sailed. Sorry. Well, losing a March or so opens up that cap space for Vegas, I
Does
believe.
it? They've been so over the cap that I feel like they had to dump him.
Let's see. Vegas Golden Knights right now. Oh yeah, sorry. They only have 1.8 million in cap space right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say they don't have any LTIR money right now, so
I'll look at
but they've got
see
all their
who has a
guys
lot of
signed
cap
at the
space.
moment. They'll need a backup goaltender because they traded away Logan Thompson. I don't understand why they traded Thompson away. That made no sense.
Jeff Skinner's going to a cup contender on a team friendly deal. Think he lands in Dallas. Interesting. Jeff Skinner has never played a playoff game in his career. So, yeah, now that he is a free agent, he is he's going to want to go somewhere that he has a good chance of making the playoffs. Marner will be a Golden Knight
He never
at the
played
deadline.
with Carolina in the playoffs?
I'm 99% sure that he's never made the playoffs because they were talking about how he's never played in a playoff game. So no.
Huh.
Their forwards are getting older. You can really rely on these guys for another full season. Whose forwards are getting older? Yeah, there was talk about Marner to Utah. It doesn't really look like that's going to happen. Well, obviously
I think they're keeping
there's
him.
still a lot of time. Yeah, they might be keeping him for now, but they probably won't keep him for what we say Dallas. Yeah, they're well. They know they have a lot of good young forwards. Like they have a lot of and Pavelski leaving helps them get a little bit younger. But oh wow. Okay, so Vladdy is not playing. They just scratched him.
Oh wow.
So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not playing. because due to his hand. Thanks a lot, Garrett Cole. And of course, as Nick knows, that was my free pick on Picks and Parlays, and now it's a void if anyone bet it. But like he played the rest of the game, so I kind of expected him to. I expected him to play today, and then he was confirmed in the lineup, and now he is not. So. That means I'm just gonna stay off betting today. Sean Walker to Carolina.
That's actually not a bad move.
No. Ben is getting up there. Their third line depth is rough. Duchesne gone. Is Duchesne gone?
Yeah, he signed a 1-year deal with Dallas. I don't know if they've re-signed him though.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
He's probably saying they're not going to resign him.
Yeah. Free agents. Let's see here.
Yeah, that the type of contract Duchesne signed with Dallas, that's what I'm expecting Skinner to do. Like a 1-year prove it deal.
Oh, Matt Duchesne re-signed with Dallas. 1 year, $3 million. 1 year, $3 million deal. Tyson Yost is going to Carolina.
Okay, there it is.
Thomas Nosek to Florida. Derek Forbort to Vancouver. So, yes, Duchesne is back. I don't know why he would want to leave. Like, if I was him, I would stay. Like, you had a really good year in Dallas. My bad. Thought I saw he was moved. All good. All good. Travis Boyd, former Gopher to the Wild? Really? Boyd? I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, big moves for the Wild.
A two-way contract. 775,000. Okay, yeah, so he will probably find himself in the AHL. So that's fine. Vancouver way overpaid for Nebraska, in my opinion. We'll see. Well, he's someone who needed a fresh start, and we'll see how. It is a little bit of a deal. It is a little bit of a longer deal than I maybe would have done, but he played good with Keller and Schmaltz. I don't know, good as fuck. I don't know if he played good as fuck. Maybe he played good at times, but 7 years, yeah, that's a bit long. That's a bit long. Let's see here. Grizzly to Pittsburgh. Yeah, so the Wild are definitely done now. Travis Boyd and Yakov Trenin. Which is bottom line forwards.
Tells me that they're not really trying to push to do anything this year.
Well, with $6 million in cap space,
couldn't really do much.
You can't really do too much. Now next year they'll have 14 million plus whoever's coming off the books. Plus if the cap goes up at all. So next year, as I said at the beginning earlier in the show, next year the Wild will be this year's Nashville Predators. Expect Bill Guerin to do a lot next off season. So one more year of pain, but I'll be okay.
Yeah, they've got everybody signed though heading into this year. Minnesota. So it's not like they don't have any more pending UFAs, RFAs, anything like that, other than Declan Chisholm on the blue line, which was a waivers claim. So other than that, everybody else is signed till at least next year. And next year they won't have too much for UFAs. Marc-Andre Fleury, John Merrill, Jake Middleton and Marcus Johansson will be UFAs. And
Yeah,
then
Marcus Johansson
Rossi.
gone. Flowers retiring after this season.
Yeah. Brock Faber will be an
Johansson will be
RFA
gone.
next year.
Who?
So he's going to get paid more.
Brock Faber?
Faber.
Yeah, Faber is going to be getting extended during this whenever. And apparently Jake Middleton is probably going to get extended as well. Which I don't hate.
Stephen Mason to the Devils. Is that right, Robert? I love seeing all these players leave Carolina. It's fun.
Doesn't mean your Islanders has any chance of passing them, Nick.
No, I just
They
can't
still have
stand the Hurricanes living in Carolina.
So there's a quote from Jonathan Marchessault regarding the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't think they tried their best to keep me, is what
They
Jonathan
couldn't.
Marchessault says
Financially, they
about the
couldn't.
Vegas Golden Knights. So basically, that means is they lowballed him, and yeah, it didn't end well. But yeah, with only 1 point, not like what else? It was kind of tough for them to offer
What
him.
were they supposed to do? Yeah.
They made that decision when they traded for when they had the trade deadline.
When they signed Hannafin.
Yeah,
I was going to say they signed Hannafin. That was kind of where that money was going. And Hurdle.
and the Hurdle contract, which isn't his full contract, but still it's cap.
Yeah. And then for Vegas next year, their UFAs will be Theodore, McNabb, Hill, Colasar, and Howden. They've got most of their core signed up long term. Eichel until 26, Stone for another 3 years, Hurdle for 6 years, Carlson for 3 years, Barbashev for 4, Waugh for 3, Hannafin for 8, Whitecloud for 4, Petrangelo for another 3. They'll need to go out and get a goaltender next offseason because Aiden Hill is going to be a UFA unless they re-sign him. But I mean, they've got their core pretty locked down now, the Vegas Golden Knights, and just Jonathan Marchessault just didn't fit in that picture.
I'm just shocked that Buffalo bought out Jeff Skinner and they're
Did
not
nothing with it.
even replacing him. Like, I hate to shit on the Buffalo Sabres because Buffalo Sabres fans have gone through so much pain for 13 years, I think it is now. But oh my God, man, like, what, like, the Sabres are a disaster.
Are you really
Like, they are a
reliant on your
disaster.
core that much?
Like you get rid of your what was he the top goal scorer last year? Skinner? Like he was definitely
Something like that.
I think he scored the most goals. I'm pretty sure he scored the most goals for Buffalo last year. And you go and
they
buy
have
him out,
$23
and then
million in cap space.
he what?
Buffalo
Like you don't
has
go and
$23 million in cap space too.
yeah. Like must be ownership saying we don't want to pay money. Like, oh my God, you haven't made the playoffs in almost like in over 10 plus years, and you're worried about money. You should be worried about making the playoffs. Like someone I think who's flying super under the radar is Alex Turcotte of the Kings. We'll see. All teams have young guys that they hope will take the next step. Casey DeSmith to Dallas. 1 year deal.
Wedgwood is
3
gone.
million. Oh, sorry, three-year deal.
He's taking Wedgwood
1 million. Wow. That's interesting because Wedgwood did good
Devin
with
Shore to
Dallas.
the Wild.
Devin Shore? Like what? Like
I saw that on Twitter. I don't know who Devin Shore is.
oh yeah, Michael Russo, Wild signed. Like I don't really understand. Like the I like obviously what Garen's trying to do is adding these like the Wild need grit. Like they do need grit in the bottom of the lineup, but I don't know, like he's trying to make the playoffs. I know it sounds weird with these additions that he's trying to make the playoffs, but he is. Instead, I would have rookies playing. I would want to be seeing what the rookies can do. I would just look at this year as a write off and I would let the rookies play. But
Yeah.
adding Yakov Trenin and Boyd and like these guys are just I don't know. The Wild aren't making the playoffs. Definitely not with what's happened this offseason. Nashville could take their spot. Watch out for Seattle. I know they only added Montour, but Seattle is a team where um, they have young guys coming up. Shane Wright looked really good in the AHL this season, especially in the playoffs. So Shane Wright most likely makes the Kraken next year. And Montour is a huge addition. Montour is a huge addition. So Seattle could make the playoffs again next year.
Yeah. Whose spot did they take though?
Well, whoever has a down season. Winnipeg, LA, Vegas.
True.
Whoever one of the whatever of those teams has a
Feels
bad
like
year.
LA
Where's
would be
John
that
Gibson
team.
going? Nowhere unless someone trades for him.
Anaheim.
He's in Anaheim. He's not going to
I
get
was gonna say
traded
Anaheim.
unless somebody wants that contract. And with what he's done the last like playing in Anaheim doesn't boost your numbers obviously. Like his numbers are bad. So I don't know if a team would even want really to trade for him after his last few years. To be honest. But yeah, the big winners are the Nashville Predators.
So watch them miss the playoffs now.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I know, I'm just messing around, but yeah.
Because when you improve at every position, maybe not so much goaltending, but signing UC Saros, extending him to that long deal, I think
Yeah.
that kind of does boost your goaltending because it gives him a sense of security, gives the team a sense of security. Obviously, it helped because I'm sure Stamkos and Marchessault and Brady Shea, I'm sure that if UC Saros wasn't signed, I'm sure that they might have considered other spots. I think having UC Saros re-signed
Yeah.
made them comfortable. Made them comfortable with signing with Nashville. And Stamkos even alluded to it and said, mentioned Saros on his interview he did on Sportsnet, the phone interview he did.
So now, how much is Nashville working with? Can they do anything else? Not like they need to, but
Yeah, they have $5 million.
they still got $5 million to work with. They can sign another decent guy. Yeah.
Zach Aston Reese
And they've got
to the Vegas Golden Knights. 775,000.
okay.
So again, somebody who's not really going to make
Contract
much of
that,
a
yeah. No.
Yeah, the
But
team
when you
is
only
with
have
the
$1 million
most cap
in cap
space
space,
is
I guess that's what you need to do.
Anaheim has they're almost 32 million in cap space. Detroit almost 26.
Yeah.
Calgary, San Jose, Columbus, Carolina. The Kraken still have 16 million in cap space. And Islanders only have almost 6, so you guys have a little bit. Washington
Yeah.
is
They
13
made
million
a
over the cap. So Washington is going to have to do something. Oh, they have an LTR candidate for 9.2 million. Toronto's got 700,000 cap space. Vancouver 1.2 million. The Wild 1.9 million now. Philadelphia only 3.3 million in cap space, which you would expect them to have a bit more.
I wonder how much dead cap. I wonder how much dead cap Carter Hart's creating right now.
I'm not sure. I think he's only signed one more year. If I'm correct on that.
Still, that's a big cap hit. Oh, they're paying 3.8 to what do you call it? Cal Peterson. 3.5 to Kevin Hayes in retained salary. 2.3 million to Cam Atkinson. 1.6 million to Anthony or to Tony D'Angelo. I don't see Carter Hart for a cap hit here
Not
at all.
Wedgwood to Nashville.
How are they? They've got
2-year
everybody
deal,
signed other than
3
Damula.
million or 1.5 million a year, 2-year deal. Wedgwood to Nashville. I think that so they did boost. They did
Not a
boost
bad
their
signing. It's a
goal.
good backup.
So they improved at every position. The Nashville Predators.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Lankinen wasn't a bad backup for them last year. Who would you rather have, Lankinen or Wedgwood?
Wedgwood's numbers might have been
Or am I thinking
a
of a
little bit
different?
better because of what he did. Lankinen is a free agent as well.
I mean,
So
yeah.
somebody might or somebody should eventually sign him. Wow. Okay. So the Seattle Kraken, who I've been mentioning, 6.25 million per year, 7-year deal.
Wow.
Chandler Stevenson. So I kind of already mentioned maybe Kraken taking Vegas' spot, and now the Kraken have taken a Vegas Golden Knight player in Chandler Stevenson. 7 years, 6.25 million. So the Kraken are also
Wow.
making.
I did not think he was going to get that much.
Yeah. 6.25 million isn't horrible, but the 7 years is a little bit long. Let's get Kraken. Yeah, I think Vegas has taken a small step back, and I think Seattle's improved. I think Seattle's improved.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
can
of course,
expect a
with
small step back when yeah.
we still have Eichel, Stone, Hurdle, Carlson, Barbashev, Waugh, Alexander Holtz, who we'll see how he does. Pavel Dorofeyev, they re-signed. I really like him. The defense core is still strong. Petrangelo, Hannafin, Theodore McNabb, Whitecloud Hague. Goalies, it's Aiden Hill, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then they've got some guys in the AHL. So the goaltending is a question mark because Aiden Hill, after winning the cup, we saw regression from him. But then again, Seattle has some goaltending questions. But Joey Daccord did really well, and I think he could have a big year. Grubauer could end up finding himself as the backup. So yeah, I like what Seattle's done. I think Seattle, like I don't think it's crazy to say that Seattle could try to take Vegas' spot.
Or
I
LA
don't.
or LA spot.
Yeah, I don't think it's a crazy thought.
I'll be interested to see what the point totals are with some teams because we kind of saw this last year where kind of the season point totals kind of told you a little bit of a story on some teams. Like the Krakens were really low, type of thing. So
Yeah.
and we saw them go. I believe they went under their win total last year, and a lot of people loved their over, including me. Um, and we kind of saw the market kind of tell you they're going to regress that year. So I'm kind of interested to see where the point totals are going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be looking at all that eventually.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of time.
Defense wins championships. That's how Florida won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Florida won the Stanley Cup because Edmonton did not show up for Game 7. Like, but no, we
It was
won't
great.
discuss that
Yeah.
series. It's over. I was not a fan of the Stanley Cup Finals whatsoever. Like, I wasn't a fan of it. But
I mean, we
we'll
both
leave it.
cashed 10-1 tickets in that series, so it wasn't bad.
Yes, but I gave a lot of that back in Game 7. I gave a lot of
Oof.
that back in Game 7 because I was heavy on the Oilers. And of
Yeah.
course, they decide not to show up for Game 7, their first chance to win a Stanley Cup. And yes, people said they did show up, but like, come on now. Come on now. You could, yes,
Bobrovsky
McDavid
looked
was
good in that
injured.
game.
Yes, they had injuries, blah, 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 blah. But still, you noticed McDavid once or twice the entire Game 7. You noticed him once or twice, and that's not going to win a Stanley Cup. So, but it's over. It is done and over with. But yes.
Everyone
Uh,
says McDavid, McDavid, McDavid. Drysaitel was fucking useless in that series.
and it's the player I want
Did
the
he get
Wild
a
to
point in
sign.
that series? Yeah, he got no
Yes.
goals. I know that.
Yes, he had assists.
Okay. What did he do?
Oilers didn't show up for Game 7. Totally agree. Thanks, Ben. Yeah. Like, maybe they ran out of gas after coming back from down 3-0, but still. Like, you can't really use that as an excuse. Yes, they had injuries, but like, it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, and you have a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and you play like that. That's just what's. And then Florida on the other side, when they were up 3-0, they had a really bad Game 4, but I expected that. Then they go home in Game 5, and they don't show up for half the game. So it's like, who was showing up and who wasn't is why I was really frustrated. I would have expected both teams to show up to every game. Now, of course, Game 4, being up 3-0, Game 4 was going to be tough no matter how you look at it. But Florida should have came up for Game 5. They should have got up for Game 6. And then they finally won Game 7, but again, it was because Edmonton didn't show up. That's just my thoughts. Sam Steele officially back in Dallas, although I thought it was already official 1-year deal with him back. But now I guess it's officially official. Yeah. I don't know how many more moves or how many more big signings we're going to have.
Yeah, it looks like it's dying down.
Let's see who is left. Because not necessarily everybody is going to get signed today either.
Today, no.
Let's see who is left. Let's see who's left. Jeff Skinner, Nate Schmidt, Cam Atkinson, Adam Henrique, Jacob Vrana, TJ Brody, Tarasenko, Tyler Johnson, Matt Campbell, Victor Olofsson, who I kind of wanted the Wild to look at, but now they won't have the money for him after today. Kevin LeBanc, Nikita Zaitsev, Wenberg, Hoffman, Mike Hoffman, Tyson Berry, Anthony Beauvillier, Shane Gostisbehere, Matt Dumba, Ryan Suter, Ilya Samsonov. So yeah, a lot of the big names here are gone. Anthony Duclair. And then yeah, that's basically it for. So the big name is Jeff Skinner. That's the big prize available right now.
That's that just shows how bad this free agent class is, and that's now the top name.
Yeah. Well, the big ones are gone. And Nashville scooped up three of them.
It was
And then Seattle getting Montour was big. And then Stevenson helps.
Montour got paid for that cup. Yeah, I don't like the
he was
term
very
on
good
that
the season
Stevenson deal.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garnet Hathaway extension in Philly. Of course, we already mentioned
Okay.
Casey DeSmith. Montour says he wanted to be on a team that's younger, developing. He says there's so many factors in it. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm just kidding. He's not saying that, but that's probably a big reason why he
I
went
wonder
to.
what all the factors part of it were.
Yeah. He said he wanted a longer contract. He could have signed 8 years with Florida, so. He wanted a fair deal.
Valnichishkin gonna do next? Get help?
What?
No, Robert in the chat saying, "What's Valnichishkin gonna do next
Oh,
season? Probably start more cocaine off of Russian hookers' asses. I don't know. Apparently, doesn't want to play hockey.
yeah.
Fucked me out of futures, but that's beyond the point.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with him when he's back from his suspension. Yeah, suspension.
Yeah,
Ryan
suspension,
Lomberg,
6 month
2
suspension.
years, $2 million in Calgary. So the Calgary Flames are signing somebody, a fourth line fighter, or fourth line physical guy.
Stanley Cup champion.
That's true. That is true. All right. Well, we might be ending the stream here soon. Not a whole lot is going on currently.
I was gonna say it's beginning to be lunchtime now.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we are down to the obviously the first hour. It's almost hour and a half now, or it's past hour and a half. Most of the signings are done. Most of the big ones. And yeah, teams improved. Some teams got worse. It's going to be really weird. What? Matt Dumba to Dallas? Wow, that's interesting. We'll see if that's actually official. That's what I'm seeing here on Twitter. Matt Dumba to Dallas. So they're going to replace Ryan Suter with Matt Dumba. That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, of course, he's younger, former Wild player. So Dallas is trying to go after the former. They are the former Minnesota franchise, and now they're trying to go after former Minnesota Wild players. Interesting. It is going to be weird seeing Steven Stamkos in a Predators jersey. That's going to be a little bit weird. Sounds like Ilya Lyubushkin to Dallas. So Dallas trying to improve their defense core. I think Nick might be frozen. Yes, Nick is frozen. So I'll take him off. Oh, no, you're unfrozen now. Okay. What is Oliver Wahlstrom's situation? He's under the radar right now. All right. I think we'll. Oh, yeah, Nick's gone because he was having internet issues. I think we'll end the stream off here. Not as exciting of a day as I thought, but hey, we went over a lot of the moves here that happened. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. The regular show will be back tomorrow, regular time for the Tuesday baseball slate. Internet shit out of me. It's all good. We are ending the stream here. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you guys on tomorrow's show. Thanks, guys.